First keynote speaker I'd like to call on is Dr. Marco Ferroni, Chair of the System Management Board at the CGIAR.
Thank you very much, moderator. Distinguished guests, distinguished participants, allow me to start by thanking IFPRI and the FAO and congratulating them, frankly, for organizing this timely, inspired and inspiring conference. It is heartening to see assembled in this room and online a community of policymakers, researchers, advocates, funders and doers in the private, public and social entrepreneurship sector, a community of participants that share the commitment to end hunger and malnutrition worldwide. As a community, we have come a long way in the past 10 and perhaps particularly the past 5 years in our understanding of the nutrition challenges, including the question of agricultural and food-based pathways for addressing hunger and malnutrition. Speaking of these, as a representative of CGIAR, it seems appropriate for me to recall that many of us have worked in the footsteps of the Green Revolution for many years, focusing on agriculture, income generation, and staple grain production to prevent food shortages. Versions of this work, mindful of sustainability considerations and planetary health, must continue for the relevant range of crops, including legumes, pulses, grains, tubers, bananas, and roots in settings where undernutrition remains prevalent and food security at risk. But staple food production does not solve malnutrition. A broader range of interventions is needed to address the multiple burdens of malnutrition and the unbalanced, unhealthy diets underpinning it. Agriculture as a way of life and as a source of livelihood and food supply, and food value chains and systems remain important. But other sectors are also called upon for contributions. More integrated ways of thinking are in order, and we should recognize that results chains are complex. How processes unfold, how they lead or fail to lead to desired outcomes is often an empirical question. Data are therefore needed, and there's a lot yet to study across many settings to inform nutrition policy interventions. This is where our organization, CGIAR, comes in. Our 2030 plan, a new plan just approved 2 weeks ago, posits a nutrition transformation as a core goal to tackle chronic hunger, hidden hunger, obesity, and the availability and accessible of healthy and safe food. Some of our themes of work worldwide include agrobiodiversity, food systems for healthier diets, biofortification, as already mentioned, food safety, smart foods, of which I had the opportunity to sample some in the atrium outside and on which we just signed a very important MOU. And all of this and more leveraged by supporting policies, programs, landmark global publications, and enabling action across our agri-food systems research portfolio, which include livestock and fish, which include the pivotal question of gender and the challenges, of course, of keeping the food system within environmental limits. One of the characteristics of our work is partnership. The fact that we work in a large number of countries, a number of whom I'm privileged to say and see are represented on the dais, where productive partnerships with governments, civil society, national programs, the private sector, the academic community, and other stakeholders inform and shape our work. I am convinced, ladies and gentlemen, that we can change diets and nutrition and create in the process dividends for better health. I think supply side and demand side operations and thinking are needed. I don't have time to address what I mean. Some of this all of you are very aware of. I would just like to conclude by saying that where there is a will, there is a way. My expectation of our symposium is that we articulate both that we renew the commitment and that we deepen our understanding of implementation issues by reviewing aspects of methods and how to work as different from essentially limiting ourselves to the question of what needs to be done. Accelerated implementation is the name of the game, and I look forward to our deliberations on throughout the duration of our conference. Thank you very much.